everyone. I am the host, Jelly Dubro, here with my co-host, Season 2 champion, AlexTheCrippler.
Was good.
So we will be doing opinions about every single challenger that was on Season 3 of Jelly's Challenge, Dirty Duel.
Indeed,
So let's kick it off with YT Twitter. So moving on. Alright. So first boot of the season was InstaHo123. And honestly, coming into this, yeah, you won with this guy. So did you think he'd do well, or?
Nah, bro,
Alright, well, honestly, for me,
I carried that season, man.
you did, you really did. Well, honestly, I never really saw him doing that well, because I think he's better in like a team or duo settings.
He needs to be
So
carried.
he didn't show up. Yeah, he didn't show up for the first daily challenge. Honestly, I didn't think he'd win it, even if he did. And it came to the puzzle, like I think he probably would have been like middle of the road when completing it, or he would have been like one of the last people to complete it. Regarding his elimination with Super, he did good at first. He won the first 2 rounds, but then he just choked the last 3. And yeah, that really sucks.
Dang, you love choking up.
Yeah.
So opinions. What do we think?
So, would I recast him? Probably still, because next season is the duos one. So I think he'd be able to do better with a partner, but I don't really know. He's just not made for it.
You better not partner.
It's just not made for individual seasons.
It's not built for it.
Alright. Next boot was Super Mark Pro 123. You also won with this person.
I did indeed. Another person I carried.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I thought he would. I honestly thought he'd make it further. Because unlike Insta, I honestly take him a little more seriously when it comes to individual competition. But no, unfortunately, he went home second. He did manage to beat Insta in honestly what I think was one of the hardest eliminations in the season and straight up in this long term. Yeah, second boot. Not too much I can say about him. He did fine in the daily challenges, the 2 daily challenges he did. That one with Rare, he was just okay in. I think he got like, I think he was like exactly in the middle with the placement on that one. But yeah, not much to say. Would I recast? Definitely. Yeah, he's still fine. Oh yeah, also regarding his elimination against Jessica where he went home, I thought he was gonna win that at first because prior to that, everyone was just like, "Oh my God, Super's gonna win." He was also really cocky about it, but I guess that makes it a little embarrassing too. So, not the best look, but he did. Oh, nah. All right, next up, next boot was Hunter. I don't even remember his username. He was like IIXEVU or something like that, but yeah, I think Hunter was fine as a rookie. I honestly thought he would do a little more. And honestly, I don't really think he got the time to do much either, because he only lasted 3 episodes. So in terms of his social game, he had one alliance that I know of, and that was like Asian Invasion with Parvati and Kato. Then in the challenges, let's see, trying to remember. Can't remember if he was there for the first one. No, he was there for the second one, which again he did just okay. I think he was fine. And then the third one, yeah, I don't remember him in that one either. But honestly, not too much to say about him either. But in terms of his elimination, I honestly think he would have done a lot better if the elimination wasn't what it was. Because the elimination was handcuffed, so it was like one of those physical luck-based ones. So yeah, if it was something else, I think he could have done a lot better. Maybe he'd be able to beat Jamel, but I still think she would have won. Oh, I would recast him because I feel like there's more that he can show. But for now, I'm not too sure about him. Alright, moving on. Carlos, Frosty Girl 101. Some username. Yeah, Carlos was definitely robbed, because I honestly think he would have been a top tier rookie if he had lasted much longer. Because he did win the first daily challenge. and he did pretty well in the rest of them, but then really got pretty much like blindsided in episode 4 by, yeah, I think it was Rare and Veliki sent him in, and he lost to Cassandra 3-0 in the Fireball elimination. Yeah, if I had to compare him to someone from the challenge, it would definitely be Anthony from Invasion of the Champions, because I think if he lasted longer, he would have been really good. I think he could have made the final, honestly.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. I would definitely recast him for another season because I think he has a lot of potential. I think he could be really good.
Definitely, he's gonna be good next season.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, we got Vulpix, whatever his ETH RNP1. Yeah, he quit. I have a little more to say about him. Honestly, I was a little disappointed about him this season. A little disappointed in him this season. Because last season, he wasn't great, but he definitely showed a lot of heart. He really put his all into it. And this season, I feel like his head just kind of felt like it wasn't in it or something. Because once again, I think he did in the daily challenges, but especially in those 2 partner ones that he did with Danny, he really flopped the first one because Danny was actually doing pretty well in that challenge. But if Vulpix hadn't been like chatting, then I think they would have been much faster, and they probably would have had a chance to win that. So I think overall they got 3rd in that daily challenge. It was 3rd or 4th, I think. But yeah, not too bad there. And in his final daily challenge, they actually got 2nd place. Yeah, I think he did pretty good in that daily challenge. But then he just quit because he had some argument with Jessica where she called him a snake. I'm sorry, but if you're not ready to deal with arguments, I'm not sure if you're made to be on the challenge.
Yeah, it's a very
It's
lame
not like it
way
was some,
to go.
yeah. It wasn't like some major argument where like Jessica was like destroying his mental health. All she said was, "I think you're a snake," and then he just kind of quit.
If you can't handle the
Yeah.
heat, get out of the kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, compared to other quitters, I wouldn't call this like the worst quit of all time. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in that. I don't, and it sucks because I'm pretty sure he said this was like his last long term. Honestly, I wish he had just never come back after last season because that would have been a way better note to leave off on than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really sucks. All right, moving on. Underrated Jamel.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
I also thought Jamel would make it further this season, but fortunately, no. Competitively, I think she was good as always. She did pretty well. She didn't actually win any daily challenges, but she did fine in them. Let's see. She had one alliance, I think. It was with like Danny, Doge, and Vulpix. There might have been someone else in it, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about her this season either because she didn't really last a ton. She lasted about like almost halfway, a little less than halfway. She did manage to win an elimination against Hunter in the handcuffs one. Then she lost to Danny in episode 5 in the hog tie one. She also did pretty well in that elimination, but yeah, she couldn't win that one unfortunately. So would I recast her? Yes, definitely. I definitely think she's one of the OGs. She did fine too. So this is definitely her worst season though. But yeah, not too much to say. All right, next up, Danny Jameson. Yeah, I mean this was definitely a slightly better season that for Danny. Now, physically, yeah, he was as good as always. And honestly, it kind of sucks that no one's ever actually watched the eliminations that he's won. He actually did really well in those. He completed them. They were like really hard obby ones, and he completed them pretty fast. He actually kind of destroyed his compares. See, I think his main downfall is his social game because he's always all over the place with it. I think he has too high, like he has too short of a temper. Kind of just blows up on people, and it really screws him over. He did have one alliance this season, and honestly, I thought that alliance would be good for him. But then when it came to it, he kind of ended up getting backstabbed. Although this season, I wouldn't really say it was as much his fault as last season because this time, like the thing that got the ball rolling to where everyone wanted him out was because one of his allies like ratted him out essentially. But I still think he could have dealt with it a little better. Oh yeah, and until he fixes his social game, I just don't think he's gonna get very far. But yeah, still though, better season for him. I would recast him, but if he can't pick it up with his social game, then I don't think he's ever gonna do well. Alright. Moving on. Around the halfway mark. Eliav won. Honestly, I really hate to say this, but I was a little disappointed with Eliav this season. Yeah, no, because when he applied and I casted him, I was legit excited because I know he has some experience. I'm like, he can do really well. He can make it really far. He can win things. But he really reminded me of Victor on Vendettas because while competitively, yeah, he pretty much hit the mark. He did manage to win a daily challenge with Brian, and that was a pretty impressive win from him because he figured out that word puzzle really easily. And definitely, Brian would have not won that if he wasn't paired with him. But when it came to his social game, it was absolutely non-existent. I just I didn't see anything out of him when it came to that. Uh, I know everyone was like targeting him because they thought he was pretty much inactive in house chat. He was inactive with alliances. Like, not sure like if he had any alliances. I didn't know of them. So maybe he had a few, but I don't think so. And yeah, and in that elimination against Dina, I honestly think he could have won. So yeah, he managed to win one round and lost 2-1, but I expected more out of him. I thought he was gonna go further. Would I recast him? Yeah, because I really think he could do a lot better than this. But unfortunately for now, this is what we got. It's not exactly great. Alright. Moving on. Qdiddy. Yeah. I was also pretty excited for Qdiddy to come back this season. He did pretty well on the island. He won 2 out of 3 of the eliminations that was on that season. I thought he was going to do pretty well this season. But honestly, I think he was the exact opposite of Eliav for me. Like, I thought he was really great. I thought he was entertaining and also pretty good socially. But physically, he could have been a little better, honestly. He didn't actually win anything. He also did against that in that elimination against Kato. But ultimately, he lost when I actually thought he was going to win. Now, as for his social game, honestly, he totally got screwed over. If Rare hadn't thrown that one vote out, then he wouldn't have been voted in. Like, he was never really the main target, but all because of that one vote, and then all the other people who were voting didn't want to send in someone else, and he just ended up getting sent in. So yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely recast him because I think there's a lot more he can do. But not too bad of a season for him. Alright, next up is She Who Must Not Be Named. I think everyone knows who I mean.
Who?
And therefore, She Who Must Not Be Named will not be receiving an opinion because
Who
I don't
is?
give opinions on racists.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I don't think you saw that one, but
I
yeah.
did, but I heard all that I need to hear.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Alright,
We do
moving
not
on,
condone
Jay
that.
Harajuku J. Yeah, I was also pretty excited for Jay. I think he was he was a really good replacement for Elg. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, he also did fine. He didn't actually win like any daily challenges, but he still did pretty well in them. So, although honestly, I thought he was gonna make it further. Like out of he had like a Barb's alliance, we'll call it, with Veliki and Parvati. Honestly, I thought he was gonna make it to the end, and he did do pretty well in that elimination. But unfortunately, out of like a comeback, Jessica managed to beat him. Yeah, I would definitely recast Jay because I definitely think Jay can show a lot more. But yeah, this wasn't a bad rookie season at all. Definitely not. All right, moving on. Jessica. Um, whereas last season, I think we got to see a lot of Jessica's social game. This season, we definitely got to see a lot more of her physical game. I think she did really well in that. He managed to win 2 eliminations against Super, a champion, and a top tier rookie in Jay. Honestly, in both of those, I did not think she'd win at all. That was actually kind of a theme this season. Like every elimination, I pretty much predicted the winner wrong. Yeah, socially, yeah, she was still pretty good, but I wouldn't say it was as good as last season. But I think that makes sense considering it was an individual game. There was also the cast this season was a little more like gave a little better competition when it came to social things. But yeah, managed to win 1 daily challenge and pull 2 double crosses. I think it was around, yeah, it was 2 double crosses, I think. But yeah, again, I definitely recast her. She's great in this game. But yeah. On rare BZZ0 now. There's about to be a huge uproar on my opinion about this guy, but hear me out. Prior to him quitting the elimination, don't think he was that bad. No, calm down, calm down. Unity, I see you typing. Stop typing. I mean, he really wasn't that bad because physically he managed to win 2 daily challenges. One of them being an individual daily challenge, which I thought was pretty good. And then one of them was that team one, where he managed to get QDD sent in, even though QDD was not even meant to be the target. And socially, sure, people can say what what they want about him, and him being like the target or whatever. But he did manage to weasel his way out of being like voted in all the way until episode 9. So yeah, but I just can't get over the fact that he quit that elimination, saying I'd rather quit than lose. One, your quit still counts as a loss towards your record, so he's still 0-1. Two, I just think that's a really like bitch way to go out.
That's pretty bad mindset to go into.
Yeah. Like he was not good at slide puzzles at all. So if he ever was to do another season, yeah, he'd have to do way better than that. I mean, honestly, if he hadn't quit, I would definitely consider recasting him. But his quit just like really takes him down for me, and I don't like that. I don't like quitters. But yeah, moving on. All right, next up we got Dina Melly 223 or Kimberly. Honestly, I honestly regret not casting her at the beginning, as she came in as a replacement for Vulpix. And yeah, she wasn't bad at all, but I think the fact that she came in midway really screwed her up socially because she didn't have time to make any connections, so everyone just wanted her in. Yes, physically she managed to win 2 daily challenges, one being trivia and what was that other one she won? Yeah, and then she won a puzzle daily challenge with Brian. She pretty much killed that puzzle. She didn't like not even sure. It was pretty quick though. So yeah, she did manage to beat Elyov. I thought she would lose to Elyov. She did really well in that elimination. I don't think people know this, but I actually did a long term with her, and she honestly wasn't exactly great. She was actually pretty bad at like obbies and things. She actually did a lot better than I thought she would this season. So yeah, I just wish I had casted her at the beginning. But yeah, I definitely would recast her. She did really well. So, alright, moving on. Mega Roblox Gamer Lab. So, how do you feel about this guy? Because, he like voted you in almost every time he got the chance.
Oh, that bum.
Yeah, and then you beat him in elimination. Remember that?
Yeah, killed him.
No, he remembers that. Yeah, I think Lav gets a little bit of a bad rap, honestly. I mean, yeah, sure, he is 0-2 in elimination, but so was Cassandra prior to this season, and no one really looked at her as the worst competitor ever. But yeah, I think he did better than I thought he would this season. He did manage to win 2 daily challenges. One was with Doge. I think the other one might have been the team one, but yeah. He did have to quit one, or he got he like timed out on one daily challenge. It was like that puzzle one. Yeah, so that wasn't exactly great, but overall not too bad of a season for Lav. He did make it a lot further than last time, or well, 2 episodes further than last time. He has 7 out of 20. That's not terrible. So yeah, I'd give him a third chance, but I think he'd really need to win an elimination or make the final for me to give him a fourth one. All right, next up we have Kato Prinkbrat. Compared to most of the rookies, I'd say Kato is definitely one of my favorites. I really liked having him on this season, and he definitely showed a lot of heart. But physically, yeah, he was just okay. I think he was really middle of the road because he never won any daily challenges. He did pull it was like one or two double crosses. And I think his most impressive moment had to have been his win against Q because I thought he was gonna lose. Definitely lose. But yeah, that's pretty much where it ends for him. Socially, he also had a few alliances, but he was never really on top or like running the game. So yeah, and I'm sorry, no offense, but if your first loss is Brian's first win, that's not the best look. But yeah, I definitely would recast Kato. I loved having him on this season, so yeah. Alright. Next up, we have Brian the King 6. Yeah, Brian did a lot better than I thought he would this season. I honestly thought he was going to be a really like early exit like last season. But no, he managed to win 3 daily challenges and an elimination against Kato, which I also thought he'd lose in. But yeah, although honestly, I think he was a little too cocky about his wins because, okay, one, you got carried by Eliov. The second daily was a team daily challenge. I don't even remember if he competed in that one. And then third one, he got carried by Dina. Yeah, sure, a win's a win, but I think he was a little cocky about it. And I was kind of rooting for him to make the final, though. Although I definitely don't think he would have won. I think he would have gotten, like, last place in it. Yeah, still, though, a way better season for Brian, and I would definitely recast him. He did well this season. Alright, moving on to our finalists. Alright, first up, we have Doge Pro _0. Yeah, this was definitely a way better season for Doge than last season. Because she actually showed up to sessions this time and didn't get third boot. Yeah, she got the second most amount of daily challenges, daily wins this season with 5. And she did win 2 eliminations. One against an rare, and then the second one against Lav. Although I will say, she did really well in that elimination against Rare. Because sure, Rare quit, but by the time he quit, she was already on like the 3rd slide puzzle. She was doing really well. She would have won. She did it way faster than Cassandra and Jessica did. Yeah, this was a way better season for her. And also for the people like trash talking her in the finals, saying she did like bad. Half those people wouldn't have even been able to do the final challenge. I'll cut her some slack because that was a very hard final challenge. And I would definitely recast her again. Because this season I had serious doubts about her. I thought she was going to be an early boot. She definitely proved me wrong.
Definitely a bounce back season.
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Moving on, Cassandra Austin Devon, the absolute elimination queen of this season. She won 4 eliminations. They were all against pretty good people. She won the Fireball elimination in episode 4 against a top tier rookie, Carlos. Then she won in episode 8 the Shimmy elimination against She Who Must Not Be Named. Then in episode 9 she won Sliding Trials against Jessica. Which, by the way, I thought Jessica would win that elimination. And then she beat Brian in episode 12. It was also a pretty good win, a pretty dominating win. She actually beat him in 5 seconds because like he fell off the treadmill really quickly. Yeah. I honestly think Cassandra was robbed of the win though, because she definitely had to work very hard this season. She also did win a daily challenge, an individual daily challenge. But yeah, definitely great season competitively for her. If she had lost that elimination against Carlos, I don't think I would have ever casted her again. Because at that point she would have been 0-3, but yeah, she did really well though. So good job getting third. I do think you were robbed of the win, and I would definitely recast her. Alright, moving on. Second place, Veliki. Out of all the rookies, I say Veliki was the best. Because he won the most daily challenges out of anyone, and he actually broke the record winning 6 daily challenges this season. And 2 eliminations against some pretty good competitors. One of them being against Danny in episode 6, the firing squad elimination. You can actually watch that; it's posted to YouTube. And then he beat Dina in the pull me over elimination, which was also a pretty hard elimination. That was like heavy endurance. Yeah, Velky was also definitely one of my favorites this season. He was definitely robbed of the win. Because compared to everyone else, he definitely had the best physical record this season. He actually had the least amount of safe spots out of anyone. Here, let me check actually. Let me pull up the chart real quick. Hold on, waiting for it to load. One sec. Alright, well, it's not loading, but I know he did have the least amount of safe spots out of anyone, so it's very good. I definitely think he was also robbed of the win. Yeah. But would I recast? Yes, absolutely. I would definitely recast Eliki for another season. Because I really think that he can win one. So, and now moving on, the champion of Dirty Duel, Arvidi. I definitely think that Parvati's win's actually kind of underrated. Because, yeah, I'm sure she only won two daily challenges. But I think what people tend to forget is that social games do exist and are very important. Because out of anyone, Parvati definitely had the best elimination record. Not elimination. Best social game out of anyone here. And sure, while I would have liked to see her go into an elimination, I can't blame her for not going in one because the whole point is to stay out of elimination. You don't want to be down there. The fact that she went all this time without seeing an elimination, I have to give credit for that. She also did really well in the final. See, yeah, she beat second place by like 19 minutes, so that's pretty good compared to everyone else. And yeah, I definitely think this was a great win. I would definitely recast Parvati. Yeah, great season for Parvati. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think?
I definitely respect it. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
It's a good win.
Oh yeah, and she got hit by a typhoon, so her Wi-Fi was like trash for the second part of
That's
the final.
that's
I
just
think that's
being
even more impressive.
that's just
Yeah.
being built different.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for opinions. Thank you all for competing on this season.
And
Three
see you
dirty
next
duel,
season.
except for you three that quit. Yeah.
Yeah, no quitters.
All right.